Si Rizal nga ba? Si Andres Bonifacio. This one is from, tinranslate lang namin to sa poem niya na pinamagatang sa aking mga ay, hindi, ano, pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa. Yun. So, may line doon na, aling pag-ibig pa ang hihigit kaya sa pagkadalisay at pagkadakila. Yun. Yan yung line na yun.
Okay,
So,
next.
next.
Necessity is the most powerful divinity the world knows. Kanino yan? Feeling ko Taylor Swift. Ay, sino na una?
Anong Joey De Leon? Wala naman sa choices.
Sino na una mag-raise ng hand na lang?
Ulat. 1, 2, 3, go. Ilay ulit. Oh. Sige, Ilay.
Si Rizal.
Rizal daw?
Tantanin, tama.
Tama, si Jose Rizal.
Okay, next. I once believed love would be burning red, but it's golden like daylight. Wow.
Ah, si JC alam na alam. Oh. So, ano to eh.
Si Moira
JC.
yan, si Moira.
Si Moira.
Swift, Taylor Swift.
Swift daw. Si Swift nga ba?
Swift, tama.
Tama.
Okay, next question. Next phrase pala.
Okay, ang sabi dito, I may be what my enemies desire me to be, yet never an accusation are they able to hurl against me. Sino ang nagsabi nito? Raise your hand lang, guys. Sino? Nisi. Go, Nisi.
Taylor Swift na lang.
Taylor Swift na lang daw. Siya nga ba ang nagsabi niyan? Si Jose Rizal daw ang nagsabi nito. Andrew. Okay, next one.
Yan. I no longer want to live in illusions. I no longer want to believe in what is not true.
Ayan, sinabi niya yan. Sino yan? Sino nagsabi niyan? Kendrick Lamar.
Accurate, Kendrick Lamar. Nice one.
Sino guys? Raise your hand lang if you want to answer. Labang brave soul dyan. Si, ano kaya? Si Lee. Lee, what do you think? Sino nagsabi nito? Sige lang, take a guess. Andres?
Si Andres ba?
Nga ba? Si Taylor Swift ang nagsabi nito.
Nice one. Okay. Next. Okay. I die without seeing the dawn brighten over my native land. You who have it to see, welcome it, and forget not those who have fallen during the night. Wow. Sino yan?
Sino to? Sinabi niya yan. Sino yung nagsabi? Jalaika.
I think si Andres.
Si Andres nga ba? Tignan natin. Si Jose Rizal ang nagsabi nito. I think this one is from Mi Ultimo Adios ba? Or basta something from Noli. Yes, from Elias. Yes. So next, meron pa bang isa?
Meron pa. So, okay. What is the use of freedom if today's slaves will become tomorrow's tyrants? Sino nagsabi niya?
Si Tupac daw.
Tupac. Parang nag-give up na sila mag-guess. Come on, guys. Guess lang kayo.
Last na ba to? Andres ulit? Tignan natin kung si Andres nga ba yan.
Tama!
Si Andres Bonifacio. Galing.
Okay, I
Next,
think meron
meron pa
pang
bang isa?
2 more. May 2 more pa. Okay.
Oh, may dalawa pa.
So ito, when I was drowning, that's when I could finally breathe.
Eli. Ang bilis ng
Ay,
kamay ni
sino
Eli.
ba? Eli. Okay, go Eli.
Taylor Swift. Saucy.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor
Taylor
Swift ba?
Swift nga ba?
Tama!
Tama. Si Taylor Swift. Anong song daw? Oo. Alam ni Jelaica daw. Anong song?
Sample
Anong
nga
song yan,
dyan.
Jelaica? Sasampulan daw
Si
tayo.
Jelaica daw.
Ikaw nakasagot eh.
Ano, yung ano yan, yung When I was drowning inside too.
Parang iba yun,
eh. Next na nga natin. Ayaw kumanta ni Eli eh.
Okay, I think this is the last one. Okay. So, a person
Oh,
who does
eto.
not love his own language is worse than a beast and a rotting fish.
Again
Sino
guys,
yan?
translate lang namin to ha. Kaya,
Sinisi.
mukhang alam naman ang lahat. Ito ay galing kay
Rizal.
Jose Rizal. Ang sabi niya, di ba, ang di magmahal sa sariling wika ay
Worse than a
masahol
beast
pa
and a
sa-
rotting fish.
Yan. Okay, thank you guys for participating and goodbye. Ay, hindi pala. May report pa
Uy,
pala kami.
mag-represent pa tayo.
May
Okay.
report pa kami.
So, okay. So, I hope nagising kayo, guys. So, we're gonna be talking about, was Rizal the prime mover of the Philippine Revolution? But before that, we have to dive in to the question. So, let's define what is a revolution muna. Now, dito sabi, a revolution in a broad sense is a sudden, radical, and often violent change in a society, particularly in its political structure and social systems, often involving the overthrow of an existing government. But of course, there's many definitions by Colby, Stanford, also National Geographic. So they say here now, a revolution means that one is revolting against something, an institution, a tyrant, or a system of ideals or beliefs. Tapos for Stanford naman, revolution is commonly understood to have two components: rejection of the existing government's authority and an attempt to replace it with another government, where both involve the use of forceful extra constitutional means. So, ayun, yun yung definition of a revolution. Now, according to actually this article from National Geographic, when a nation's social atmosphere shifts and the political systems fail to respond appropriately, revolutions are formed. Diba? Kung may conflict and everything. So existing circumstances discourage people, which changes their attitudes and views. So philosophers have disagreed throughout history over whether revolution is a sign of societal decay or a normal occurrence in a changing society. Now, sabi ni Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, attributed revolution to a variety of factors. So, chief among them, the desire for honor and equality. Now, si Plato naman connected the societal deterioration and revolution. So, according to him, revolutions happen when establishments like the state or the church are unable to inculcate in the populace a set of moral principles and values that preclude unrest. Ayan. So, examples of revolution that are very popular, yun yung American Revolution that was around 1765 to 1783, and the Xinhai Revolution in China that was in 1911. Okay.
Okay, so now naman, i-define natin what does the term prime mover mean. So, according to Oxford Dictionary, a prime mover is a person or establishment that is chiefly responsible for the creation or execution of a plan or a project. So, pag sinabing prime mover, parang ikaw yung pasimuno sa madaling salita. Ikaw yung pinaka pinuno or parang ikaw yung pinaka nagpapagalaw sa something or sa isang idea or a plan or a project na sinasabi. So it's a person or thing that initiates or gives power and cohesion to something, such as an idea, an endeavor, or an organization. So define na natin what does revolution mean and what does the term prime mover mean. So, konting background lang din, syempre, yung background ng i-discuss natin about kay Jose Rizal, kung siya ba ay prime mover ng revolution is that yung mga previous discussions natin na 300 years na tayong under ng mga Kastila and etong sila Rizal and yung other Ilustrados parang 'di ba pumunta sila sa ibang bansa and they had parang mga liberal ideas kung bakit sa ibang bansa pwede itong gawin, bakit sa Pilipinas hindi natin magawa, ganun, etc. etc. And then they formed the propaganda, di ba, yun nga, which pushed for assimilation. Tapos, ayun din, nabanggit na rin kanina na Rizal formed yung La Liga Filipina na very brief lang naman. Ayun, so the Governor General noon yung nag-exercise ng total authority and nag-implement ng mga strict laws and yung situation sa Pilipinas noon parang ngayon na palala ng palala kumbaga na to the point na may gusto nang gawin si Rizal, not necessarily revolution pero gusto niya ng kumbaga more equal rights for the Filipinos. So yun yung background dito.
Okay, now we proceed with Rizal's POV of the revolution. So, Jose Rizal's perspective on the revolution was nuanced and frequently misinterpreted. So, despite his strong sense of patriotism and yearning for Philippines' independence, he supported gradual reform over an abrupt and bloody revolution. So, here are his revolutionary and anti-revolutionary sides. But we will start with yung anti-revolutionary side of Rizal. So, Rizal against the revolution. Yung first is yung La Liga Filipina that promoted reformation and not revolution. So, that was created around July 3, 1892. So, this organization, which Rizal founded, aimed for political and social reforms under Spanish control rather than independence. They wanted equality for both Filipinos and Spaniards in the Philippines. So, it's not really, hindi talaga siya total freedom na gusto ng Filipinos. Parang ano lang siya, sige, makikisama tayo sa mga mga Spaniards para magiging okay na tayo, diba? So, yun yung summary of yung La Liga Filipina, no? And then yung second one is, he did not advocate for a bloody revolution. So, in his own manifesto issued on December 15, 1896, and addressed to the Filipino people, Rizal stated that he rejected the idea of a revolution as completely impossible and that he was prepared to do everything in his power to put an end to the uprising. So he believed that reforms to be fruitful must come from above and that those that come from below are shaky, irregular, and uncertain. So he didn't really lean on yung bloody revolution. He want he wanted peace. Tapos, the third naman is his writings criticized oppression but advocated gradual change. So his primary novels that we know is the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. So those novels criticize oppression but advocate gradual change. So we have many characters, diba? Na from the both novels, which is sila Ibarra, si Tasio, and si Basilio, and many who had inspiration. Syempre, gawa ni Rizal, syempre may inspiration yun sa mga beliefs niya. So, we can start with Ibarra, Crisostomo Ibarra. So, he was idealist, a reformist, and he seek justice through peaceful means. So, this character shows Rizal's vision of peaceful change through education. Tapos, another character naman si Pilosopo Tasio. Siya naman ay old scholar who was thought to be crazy because of his ideas. Medyo out there siya, ganon. Kaya parang yung people parang naisip na, ay, baliw siya, ganon. So while urging intellectual and progressive reform, he cautions Ibarra about the difficulties in changing society. So when it comes to bringing about change, kay Tasho, his opinions show the conflict between idealism and pragmatism. So he wants a better future for his country, no? Who doesn't? But he knows that it is difficult to achieve. Kaya, ayun nga, nagko-conflict siya with himself. Thus, lastly naman, we also have Basilio from El Fili. So he pursued stability and personal success because he thought that progress could only be made gradually. However, yung na-influence na siya ni Simon, he had a big he initially backs an armed revolution, but later gives up violence and recognizes the need for gradual and non-violent change. So, even though sa literacy ni Rizal, you can definitely see yung desire niya for the Philippines and yung mindset that he wants other Filipinos to have. Ayun. But of course, meron din naman siyang Rizal for the revolution. And hindi naman siya entirely against it. So first is his novels indirectly influenced the revolution. As I mentioned kanina na madami na influence din si Rizal through his novels. And syempre sila ano yan, sila Andres, sila Emilio Ginaldo, and etc. Diba? And then lastly, he was on an honorary president of the Katipunan. So, dahil kay Andres Bonifacio, naging honorary president siya of the Katipuneros. Ayan. Okay?
Ayan. So, ngayon naman, na kita na natin kung ano ba yung point of view ni Rizal when it comes to revolution. Titignan naman natin kung siya nga ba ay prime mover or not ng revolution. So, gaya ng ginawa natin dun sa POV niya when it comes to revolution, titignan din natin both sides dito kung pwede nga ba siyang prime mover, matawag na prime mover ng revolution and what are the evidences that supports it. Tapos titignan din natin na hindi siya ang prime mover and titignan din natin yung mga evidence that support that claim. So, una nating titignan is the evidences that support Rizal as the prime mover. May question mark. Rizal as the prime mover? Tignan natin. Considered as the principal... Ay, sorry. Tama. So, si Rizal, by the Spaniards, he was considered as the principal organizer and the very soul of the Philippine insurrection. So parang para sa mga Spaniards, siya yung kumbaga nag-insight sa parang nag-start ng spark sa heart ng mga Filipinos to revolt against them. Kasi ang sinisisi ng mga Espanyol dito is yung mga writings niya, yung yung novels niya primarily yung dalawa, yung El Fili and El Fili tsaka yung Noli. Kasi para sa kanila, very malaki yung influence nun in instigating rebellion. Tapos during his trial, the prosecution claimed that Rizal was the prime mover of the crime of rebellion. Kasi para sa kanila, ang argument nila is that the Filipinos saw him as a leader na merong command or kumbaga yung command niya were followed without a question. Parang tingin ng mga, yun yung binibintang ng mga Espanyol sa kanila na nung trial niya, ang sabi ng prosecution sa kanya, parang siya yung prime mover, parang siya yung ulo, kumbaga, prime mover of the crime of rebellion. Depositions also from captured Katipuneros implicated Rizal in the revolution. So, merong documents such as itong Kundiman and Talisay were used as evidence against him. Mamaya makikita natin, nahanap namin yung Kundiman. Mamaya papakita namin kung ano ba 'yon, kung ano yung nasusulat doon. So, Basically, yung Kundiman is a poem written by Rizal na follows the structure of a traditional kundiman. Yung kundiman is Filipino love song, ganun. But instead of romantic love, ang inexpress niya dito is his devotion to the Philippines. So the poem speaks of suffering under oppression and a hopeful vision of liberation. Yung Talisay naman was also a poem. Hindi na namin nilagay dito sa slides kasi medyo mahaba siya. So this one naman was written while he was in exile in Dapitan and was addressed to his students. The Talisay tree symbolizes strength, resilience, and ability to stand firm despite adversity. Rizal encourages students to be strong, courageous, and values that the Spanish authorities saw as inciting rebellion. Nakita yun ng mga otoridad, no, mga Spanish authority na parang tinuturuan niya na mag-alsa yung mga estudyante niya, parang gano'n. So the Katipunan regarded him, ayan, nasabi na rin ko kanina, as their honorary president, with some revolutionaries proclaiming their allegiance to him. So tingnan natin yung, ano ba yung poem sinulat niya sa next slide. So can we ask Ellie, kasi si Ellie magaling to sa, yung voice niya maganda. Pwede bang tulungan mo kaming basahin itong tula na ito? Ellie.
Sige kapatid na Sad, basahin po natin ang Kundiman. Kundiman, tunay ngayong umid, yaring dilat puso. Sintay umiilag, tuway lumalayo. Bayan, palibhasa'y lupig at sumuko. Sa kapabayaan ng nagturong puno. Datapwat muling sisikat ang araw. Pilit maliligtas ang inaping bayan. Magbabalik na din at muling iiral ang ngalang Tagalog sa sandaigdigan. Ibubuhos namin ang dugot babaha. Matubos nga lamang ang sa amang lupa. Habang di ninilang panahong tadhana, sintay tatahimik, iidlip ang nasa.
Ayun, maraming salamat. So, ito rin yung isa sa mga evidences na ginamit laban kay Rizal during his trial. So, meron pang line dyan na kung makikita natin, ibubuhos namin ang dugot babaha. Matubos nga lamang ang sa amang lupa. So, parang sabi ng, nakita to ng mga authorities, Spanish authorities na, parang gusto mong magkaroon ng rebellion. Bakit ganyan yung mga words mo dyan sa, sa tula mo na yan. So, parang ganun. So next naman, titignan natin ano naman yung mga evidences against Rizal as the prime mover. So ano yung mga parang kumukontra naman na idea when it comes to Rizal being the prime mover of the revolution. So meron kaming tatlong nilagay dito. Rizal not as the prime mover of the revolution, di ba? The military could not fully make the charges stick. So while the prosecution and the Spanish authorities accused him, yung text or yung according dun sa book ni yung book natin na Rizal Without the Overcoat, the text implies that the case against Rizal was weak, mahina yung kaso laban sa kanya, and the military could not make the charges stick nga. So parang medyo mahina yung mga pinresan na evidence and hindi nila ma-convict ng tuluyan si Rizal. Rizal also did not take direct part in the Katipunan's armed rebellion. So alam naman natin yan na hindi siya gumamit ng baril or ng bolo or kahit anong weapon. Ang weapon niya is yung pen niya, di ba? Yung writings niya, yun yung parang pinaka weapon niya. His approach to reform was more aligned with education and peaceful means rather than outright revolution. So with these three evidence, makikita natin na although may influence siguro siya, he won't be considered as the prime mover of the revolution. So ano nga ba ang conclusion namin? Ano yung parang naging sagot para sa amin kung si Rizal nga ba ay prime mover ng revolution?
So, ang conclusion namin ay Rizal was undeniably an inspiration for the revolution. But while he was influential, he may not have been its actual prime mover. The revolution was primarily led by Andres Bonifacio and the Katipunan, with Rizal serving as a symbolic figure rather than an active revolutionary leader. So, long after the guns have stopped firing, his legacy serves as a testament to the power of ideas and how a pen can help and inspire generations and spark revolutions. So, ito po yung conclusion namin. He has helped with the revolution, definitely. And syempre, influential siya with his writings, letters, and poetry and such. Pero, he wasn't the primary mover of the revolution. So, to end this, um, kami po, we wanted to, syempre, magka-Bible integration. So, I was thinking kung sino yung pinaka-similar kay Jose Rizal sa Bible. I was thinking. So, yung na-conclude ko is, yung pinaka-similar, I would say, is si Paul. Yeah, si Paul. So, si Paul, prior to his personal encounter with the Lord on the road to Damascus, nung Acts 9:3-6, he was a member of the Pharisees and persecuted numerous Christians. So, very physical siya. He led people to kill many Christians. So as a result of that encounter yung sa Damascus, he became blind for a few days and underwent a transformation, a spiritual transformation. So after that, Paul would travel all the time and write letters to the early churches and would be his most famous accomplishment. So through his writings, he would rebuke and instruct them, which is yung Galatians, Romans, Corinthians, Philemon, Philippians, and etc. So the pen was his weapon. He was no longer the man who would use the force and a sword. So both of them, both Rizal and Paul, use the pen no to their advantages. And another similarity for both of them, they were both killed. So ayun. Tapos, let's read this verse, 2 Corinthians 10:45. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. So, although Paul was more on the spiritual and following God's ways, and uh, Rizal wasn't really on that side, mas more on the revolution siya and more on the for the Filipinos, and of course they were uh, at a different time, no. But for Paul naman, he was referring to this verse kasi siya yung nagsabi niyan sa 2 Corinthians. He was highlighting yung fighting in the spiritual realm po, yung importance of that. So as Christians, syempre, um, we don't want to use force naman or anything like that. But of course, we can still fight, but through the spiritual realm. That's through prayer and discipleship po, no? So as Christians, we must fight in the spirit and not in the flesh. The second, we fight against anything that opposes God. And thirdly, we fight to take thoughts captive to Christ. So that's all po. That is our presentation po. And thank you po. Thank you for listening.
So,
Okay, thank you, Tammy and Xed. Okay, so according to Ambet Ocampo, was Rizal really the prime mover? I mean, question niya yun na iniwan. Actually, he did not make, did he? Sabi naman niya, a closer reading of the sources reveals that Rizal was the inspiration of the revolution. You remember yung sa Gomborza, yung court decision, sabi dun sa video ng NHCP, walang makitang transcript ng court proceedings, okay, nung hahatulan sila sa kanong hearing. Meaning, may pinagtatakpan. Okay, but this one kay Rizal, may naiwan. Kasi in comparison with the charges or with the evidence presented against the Gumburza at saka kay Rizal, mas may basis kung titingnan ha, mas may basis. Why? Kasi yung Katipunan, sila naman yung nagpahamak kay Rizal. Unang-una, according to Ambet, or syempre may source siya nito, sabi niya, there's this policeman from Bulacan, Martin Constantino, who testified in Manila on September 1896. So December, binaril si Rizal. That the objective of the Katipunan was the massacre of all the Spaniards and the proclamation of independence of the country. That as soon as the Spaniards have all been massacred, the supreme head would be Rizal, who would come to establish his headquarters in the city. Yun ang sabi ng Katipunan. Okay? And then, I think it was mentioned in the past also na ang password ng Katipunan, isa sa mga password ng Katipunan is Rizal. Tapos meron si Rizal na picture doon sa headquarters nila. Kaya nga 'di ba, at the very beginning yung was Rizal an American sponsored hero. You remember that, yung pinabasa ko sa inyo. Regardless kung hindi na well, yes, in-sponsor siya ng mga Amerikano, but regardless, he still is the hero even before that, even during that time by the Katipunan. Kasi nga, may picture siya, hinahangaan siya, yung katalinuhan niya, ginagamit na password, yung pangalan niya. Okay, so without meaning to implicate Rizal in Katipunan, kasi nga, like what the pair said, sila Tami sa si Quezet, he became the source, the inspiration of the Katipuneros. Okay? So, although hindi ganun kalakas yung kaso to implicate Rizal, at saka malakas yung defense na binigay ni Rizal I think sa lesson natin of Rizal in Dapitan, doon iniisa-isa niya yung mga defense niya na sumulat siya or minention niya kay Dr. Pio Valenzuela, 'di ba, when si Andres Bonifacio inutusan si Dr. Pio na nasa Manila sila, pumunta siya kay Rizal sa Dapitan sa Zamboanga to consult. But Rizal did not agree. Nasabi niya, maraming mamamatay, ganyan. Hindi pa kayo handa. Although at the end parang wala na siyang magawa kasi sabi ni Pio, nandiyan na mapipilitan mo ba ang pagputok ng bulkan? So sabi ni Rizal, well, kumonsulta kayo sa hingin nyo ang tulong ng mayayaman. Parang ando dun na pero talagang ayaw ni Rizal ng bloody revolution. Okay, so yun yung mga incidents na nag-corroborate. How do you call that? Circumstantial evidence. Yun. Nakita yung picture ni Rizal doon sa headquarters, tapos ginagamit, tapos yun nga, sinabi si Rizal ang magiging presidente or supreme head, hindi si Bonifacio. Okay? And then, ang conclusion ng prosecution ng Espanyol, sabi nila, nasa document to, no? Rizal is a prime mover of the crime of rebellion. Honorable judges, we can see in Rizal nothing less than the very soul of this rebellion. His fellow countrymen render the man league homage and look up to him as a superior being whose sovereign commanders are obeyed without question. He was looked up to by all of them as one of the principal leaders. These men, in their accounts of the progress and development of the insurrection, make it perfectly clear that the central direction of the insurrection was always linked with the person of the accused. Okay. So, yun. Nagpahamak din kay Rizal is yung Katipunan. Pero malinaw yung mga contention ni Rizal. So doon na lang natin i-discuss yun pag nasa Rizal indapitan na tayo. Okay, so there. Was Rizal the prime mover? He was the prime inspiration of the Katipuneros during that time. Okay, sige. Wala namang tanong. Meron ba? Now, I'm not sure if I've given you what you should be putting in your monologue. So I type it again here. Kung nabigay ko na, then again, I'm saying it. So you have to give the background of the character. Okay, sino siya? Si Maria Clara. Sino siya? Ano ba siya? Bula na sumulpot. Kanino ba siyang anak? Kasi may chismis na hindi naman daw siya anak ni Kapitan Tiago and all. Okay? And then ano yung role niya dun, I mean the importance of his or her role in the story. And this one, yung pinakahuli, ito yung gusto kong makita, but for a number of times when I ask people or student to do monologue, ito yung nililive out nila. Kasama to, malaking point to, yung huli, sa monologue grading, sa rubric. Okay? Ano yung relevance ng character mo sa panahon ngayon? Because what problems or challenges the people face in Noli Me Tangere that time still prevalent up to the present. Ibig sabihin, may saysay pa yung mga character doon na binanggit hanggang ngayon sa time ngayon. So I want to see what is the relevance of the character or kaya sino yung sinisimbolo nung character mo sa panahon ngayon. Okay? So, I hope that you will not miss this part kasi nga malaki din yung point nito sa grading. At yun ang importante. Hindi na yung more than the background of the character. Pero syempre, kailangan bigay mo rin yun. But this one, because this is where we're going to get moral of the story or of the character. Okay? So, yun. I hope I made that clear. Kasi I'm allowing you to get a monologue available online. Like, yung background ng character, yung importance. But I think, kaya hindi nakakalimutan ng mga student ko before na isama yan is because it could be that it's not available online. So, ibig sabihin, mag-iisip kayo. Ano bang relevance ni Kapitan Tiago? Ay ni Piloso Potasio? Yun. Anong nire-represent niya, especially sa panahon ngayon, okay? So, baka wala kayong makuha nung third part, kailangan yung pag-isipan. Inaalaw ko na nga kayo na kunin yung background online kasi may mga nakukuhaan yata eh. Okay? Kasi ang gaganda ng mga pinaggagawa nila eh. So, ang lalalim ng Tagalog. Sabi ko, imposible namang gawa nila to. So, most likely may pinagkukunan. But the third part, yun. Okay? So, I hope that's clear. So, nung last year, pumunta ako sa school to see them perform. Pero Friday kasi yung schedule namin. So, nakapunta ako. But now, of course, Saturday, so close ang office. Okay, so you'll just open your cam. Okay? Ngayon, yung audience, walang magbubuka. Sasarado lang kasi mamaya tatawa kayo. So, mako-conscious yung magpe-perform. Okay, sige. So, any question? If I have not, I will be sending the rubric again if I haven't sent it yet. Okay? Tami.
Ma'am, may question lang po ako dun sa schedule. Kasi po from dun sa calendar po, iba po yung finals po ng mga senior po with the
Calendar ng school?
Opo, calendar po ng school. Iba po yung
May senior
deadline
ba
po
dito? Senior citizen.
Yes po, senior
Ikaw
citizen
yun.
po.
At si Eli.
Opo, yes
Kaya
po.
pala kumakanta na si Eli eh. Parang tito na kumakanta.
Yes po.
Anong siya? Siyempre, adjust ko yun. What's your schedule? A week
Parang,
ahead?
yes po. Advance
Sige,
po kami.
adjust na lang
Pero,
natin.
okay
Mm.
po. Sige po.
You just remind me also, na, ma'am, next week, ano na po. So, ibig sabihin, merong, okay. Ano naman yun eh. Yung last part kasi, most of the reporting, the topics in the last part are barely included in the exam. Parang, women na lang yun. Women in the life of Rizal at saka yung mga Rizalistas. So, halos hindi naman ako kumukuha doon. Very minimal. So, I think you're okay to have the exam a week before. Okay. Sige. So,
Pero willing to do it again po.
ang alin?
Yung presentation po.
Anong presentation? Anong presentation, Tommy?
Dun sa dun sa acting po.
Sige. Ikaw. Yun nga inaabangan namin eh. Okay, mahilig ka na magdamit-damit. Anyway, si Eli, what's your role?
Si Padre Damaso po ata.
Okay. Di ba kunwari nagmimisa ka, so may part doon nakakanta siya. So, pwede yun. Okay. Oo nga. Pwede yun. In Espanyol ha, in Latin, or kung ano man. Ayun. Okay, sige. Okay, thank you guys. I picture muna tayo. Pencam. Okay. Sige, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye. See you monologue time next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you po,
Sige po.
ma'am.